Hi guys, you're welcome to the 15th module of this particular tutorial whereby we'll be talking about the database creation. I will be pointing out at the SQLite database and its implementation into this particular application. We're going to create two classes in the data sub-package whereby we first of all create the weather contract and the weather DB helper. These are the two classes that we actually need at this moment. We're going to define the table and column names for the weather database. This class is not necessary, but keeps the code organized. That's where we have the weather contract class. Within the weather contract, we're going to create a public static final class called the weather entry that implements base columns, the inner class that defines the table contents of the weather table. Whether we have the weather entry class is a public static finder where it implements the base column. There's a class inside the class, that's a subclass. We're going to do steps 2 through 10 within the weather entry class, whereby we're going to create a final string called the table name with the values of weather. This is used internally as the name of our weather table. We're going to have the column table whereby we give it date, these are strings. The column weather ID, give it weather ID. The column minimum temperature, we'll give it min. For the maximum temperature, we'll give it max. For the column humidity, we'll give it humidity. For the pressure, for the wind speed, we give it wind. And for the column degrees, we also give it degrees. These are all static fields that are being created. Let's look at the weather DB helper. This particular class extends the SQLite open helper from the weather DB helper. The weather DB helper extends the SQLite open helper. We're going to create a public static final string called the database name, whereby we give it the weather.db. We're going to create a private static final integer called the database version, whereby we set it to 1. And we're going to create a constructor of this class, which is the weather.db. Pass a context and call true to the superclass constructor, the database and the database version. We're going to override and uncreate and create the weather table from within it, which is the uncreate method, whereby we're going to have the SQLite database class and its object. This string, which is the SQLite, the SQL create weather table, it's going to contain a simple SQL statement that will create a table that is going to catch our weather data. So we have the create table, concatenate with the weather entry based on the table name, and concatenate it with a space and a open parenthesis, whereby you're going to concatenate it with a weather entry ID, which is an integer data type, and it's a primary key, and it has an auto increment functionality. We have for the column date, which is also an integer, the weather ID an integer, the column minimum temp is real, for the max is real, for the humidity is real, for pressure real, for wind speed real, for degrees real. Concatenate with the closing parenthesis with a semicolon. After we've spelled out our SQLite table creation statement above, we actually execute the SQL with the execute SQL method of our SQLite database object. This is execute SQL, passing the SQL create weather table, which is the final string over here. We're going to overwrite on upgrade, but we don't do anything within it yet. This database is only a catch for online data, so its upgraded policy is simple to discard the data and true to uncreate to recreate the table. So that's what the upgrade is doing, but it's still empty. As of now, we're going to create more functionality. It's passing the SQLite database object, the old version, and the new version. So it's actually meant for the upgrade. I will be moving straight to the prevent invalid inserts in the next module. Whereby we're going to prevent some invalid insert like validating our inputs. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere.